everyone, welcome to the Creatives Tarot. My name is Melissa and I am super excited to have you here. On my YouTube, I like to supercharge your creativity and help you pursue your passions, and I do that in a variety of ways, including tarot readings like the one we're about to go into today. Now, I know the new moon is not happening for another week, but I wanted to give you the chance to really dig in and unpack some of the energies and emotions that are surrounding you so that you can go into that new moon prepared to take advantage of all of the energy that it has to offer. So I'm super excited about that. Before we get into the reading, I do want to let you know that I have a new newsletter that I launched at the beginning of the year. Super excited about it. The link will be in the description below. This will have some recaps on videos, upcoming sneak peeks of new content that I'll be providing, things like webinars and workshops designed to help you create your vision, set goals, hold yourself accountable. There'll be some affirmations in there and some different positive quotes and reflections, but there'll also be some YouTube spreads that I use on readings like the one today and some follow-up reflection questions. So if this seems like something that you would like, and it's going to be something that will elevate and enhance your viewership of this channel, I hope that you will sign up and subscribe. I will also be giving one free in-depth tarot reading to a subscriber each month throughout the year. And those readings are 45 minutes long. They're worth $100. So I do encourage you, I will pick them at random from everybody who subscribes to the newsletter. So if that sounds like something that is right up your alley, go sign up today so you don't miss out on all that awesome content. Before we dig into the new moon reading, let's just talk a little bit about what this new moon is and what it means for us as creative beings. So a new moon is a time of new beginnings. It's a time of letting go of things that no longer serve us. It's a time for healing and reflection and purifying. And so I love new moons because I just think of it as fresh starts, as a clean slate, as using this time and this energy of the universe to let go of things that are no longer serving us. And so this new moon is actually in Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which means that it's grounding. And you know our earth signs, right? But particularly Capricorns, this is about focus and practicality and ambition. And so a lot of this energy is just perfect for thinking about professional careers, professional success. Earth signs are pentacles in the tarot deck. So just thinking about the things that we manifest and the abundance of things that we manifest in our lives and how we earn our living, like all of that is tied in to this new moon right now. So I wanted to create a specific spread that allows us to unpack some of the energies that are within us, some of the things that we may need to let go of, some of the desires that we want. I just want to give you some clarification so that when you see your reading and then you think about the new moon, you can actually have a thoughtful list of things that you want to let go of and release and things that you want to bring into your life for this new lunar cycle. So I'm super excited to dig into our new moon in Capricorn. Like I said, if you download or if you subscribe to my newsletter, you will have a downloadable PDF. It's 3 pages. It'll go over the actual spread that I'm using today, but I'm going to show it to you so you can walk through it, and then it'll have some reflection questions as well. So let's look at the spread that I'm going to be using. Okay, so this spread is pretty simple. It's a 3-card spread. I'll also be pulling out a couple of oracle cards from the Moonology oracle deck because, of course, why wouldn't I use the moon oracle deck when we're talking about a new moon reading? So there are 3 cards. The first card is designed to ground us, to center us. So where are we right now? It's really important that we establish a baseline and that we acknowledge the energies around ourselves and how we're showing up. Then we're going to look at our desires for the year. Because we're starting a new year, this is a really great time to think about, like, what do I want to get out of 2021? What do I want to achieve or accomplish or manifest? And then what do I need to do in January to set myself up for that success? So this card number 2 is all about asking yourself and understanding and asking the universe to help you understand, like, what is it that you most desire? What do you want out of this year. The third question here and the third card here is to ask Spirit and Universe to give us insight on what we most need. It's kind of like that song, you know, you can't always get what you want, right? But sometimes you get what you need. And this is what we're asking. We're asking the universe to tell us, what is it that we need? There may be energies, people, perspectives, or mindsets that we're just overlooking. They are blind spots. And so once those are revealed, it can help us move forward in a more effective, more efficient, more purposeful and intentional way. So that question is really designed to help us see and understand things that are hidden to us that we may be overlooking, that the universe can help point us to. So I want you to pay attention to the cards that are coming up and their positions here, and also take notes, right? Take notes and watch the videos for not only your sun sign, which is the main zodiac sign that you're probably used to, like I'm a Virgo. So that's your sun sign, but also pay attention to your moon sign and your ascendant or your rising sign. Those are really, really pivotal to who we are. And you're going to get the most out of all of these readings if you're looking at all three of those signs, because that mix is going to help you see where certain energies are heightened and certain consistencies are coming up in multiple zodiac signs, and where things are just sort of lighter passing energies, right? So I encourage you, if you want to get the most out of these, to know those three signs and to pay attention to all of those readings as I'm doing these. It's just going to give you a more comprehensive picture. So definitely take notes so that you remember those points, and then you can have your own custom, unique reading. All right, let's get into this. So this is the reading for our Aquarius group. That's right, Aquarius. So in the first spot, what's grounding you? What's the center energy? Where are you showing up at right now, today, in this next week? You have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups in reverse. So there you can see it. This card is all about reminiscing. It's about memories. It's about getting lost in your past. And sometimes this can be somebody from your past coming to you, showing up in your life, in your space. And that can be a healthy thing. It can be a triggering thing. It can, you know, that like family dynamics can be really messy, and that can set you back in your growth and in your healing process. So like there is something here, especially coming out of the holidays, for you, you're carrying this weight of, reminiscing or being caught in the past, being caught in memories that may be good, may be bad, but there's definitely a sense of like feeling stuck. And when this card comes up, it's a reminder to reflect on where we've been and how we've grown and how we've accomplished that growth. And sometimes it can be a message from our future self to remind us that we're not stuck, we're not stagnant. We have made progress, even if we can't always see it, and we're going to continue to make progress. So that's where you're showing up right now. This is where you are in that Six of Cups energy. And then the second part of this is, what do you want most out of the new year? And so here we have the King of Swords. Now, this is not surprising to me, because the Swords energy is air energy, and we're talking about Aquarius, which is an air sign, not a water sign. A lot of people make that mistake because they think of Aqua and Aquarius. No, Aquarius is actually an air sign. And our swords are also about air. They're not about fire, or they're about air. They're about logic. They're about intelligence. They're about the mind. And this King of Swords is really what I like to call the chess player. And so what are you desiring? You're desiring some structure, but not for the sake of just having rules, but like you want to apply logic and intelligence to your approach. You like strategy. So you don't want to just create. You don't want to be just an artist or somebody who's making art and creating art. You want to be the boss. You want to be a leader. You want to be an innovator, and you want to be ahead of the game. You want to be thinking about how can you improve? How can you grow with consistency? How can you impact more and more people? How can you bring people along? There's this desire here in you to be very strategic about your business, about your career, about growth, about where you want to go this year. And I feel like this year you want to scale up. Like this is the year you want to break into the industry. This is the year you want to go pro. This is the year that you want to start your own business or quit the full-time everyday job and make your creative passion your full source of income. If you're already in that space, you're thinking about how can I have multiple lines of income and how can I, maximize my time. That strategy is something that you're really craving right now. And then you actually had 2 cards come out for this last part, which is what do you need? Not what do you want, but what do you need? And the first one that came out here is our 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands is all about competition. So you actually do need competition. And maybe you're coming into this space thinking like, I don't want to be competitive, or I'm tired of entering into competitions for writing. Like right now, a lot of my writer friends are talking about those fellowships. They're talking about different contests and do they want to enter and what do you plan on? This is telling me that you need that competition, that gives you a fire. It gives you a passion. It helps you level up your writing because you're looking at what other people are doing and you're realizing, am I cutting it? Is my work good enough? That competition is healthy and you need it, right? So whatever you're planning on, this is a reminder, not just to apply to everything and spend all your money, but to be strategic and to use that competition to your advantage. You also have the Queen of Swords. It was in reverse, so I'll just note that this could be less energy. It also came out behind this competition. So I do think that this is connected to that. But the Queen of Swords is, I consider her to be like the BS meter, right? Queen of Swords is somebody who has really great intuition and instincts, and she can just read people well. She can find a con artist. She's very strategic and savvy, and she trusts her gut. She's like Olivia Pope, right? And so with this coming up in reverse with the competitions, I think this is just a reminder to you, especially if you're looking at competitions that are charging a lot of money or that don't have prizes, to embrace that, but be skeptical, right? Take it with a grain of salt. Don't let one bad competition rating or judges score deter you. Make sure you understand, if you're getting feedback, who are the judges, right? Who's judging you before you take that burden on and use that to determine how well or how successful you think you are as a writer or creative. And if you're entering other competitions, fiction, poetry, music, right, just pay attention to who is the judge, right? Who is the audience, and is it worth it? Is it worth the price of admission? So those are the things that came up for you. And then advice, we have expect a powerful change, right? Expect a powerful change this cycle, and also a time to give rather than take, which this comes back to this as well, because I often think of this too as intergenerational, and like, how are we giving and sharing and helping others? But yeah, time to give rather than take. So make sure that you're thinking about how can you contribute to someone else. So that was the reading for Aquarius. We are going to move on to Pisces. Hey Pisces. Okay, let's get into the new moon reading. I'm really excited about this. So in our first slot, remember our first space is where are we at right now? Where are we centered at? Where are we grounded at? And the card that came up for you is the Ace of Wands in reverse. And so what this tells me immediately, our wands is all about our passion. It's about creativity. It's about fire. It's about what ignites us on the inside. And for all of our family out there, our creative tarot family, this is your creative passion, and it's blocked, right? This, when it's in reverse, it often means that we're hitting some kind of block, we're uninspired, we're burnt out, we're tired. And so maybe you just finished a deadline and you're like, oh, I haven't been able to write in a month. You did NaNoWriMo and you're like, oh, haven't been able to write creatively since after doing that. Or you're just not inspired. Maybe you had a setback. Maybe you had a failure. Maybe you had a rejection. Maybe you hit a roadblock with a new project and you're like, I don't really want to work on it anymore. But I get the sense that you're coming to us today and to this reading and to the new moon with this just like kind of funk, this kind of like, I'm not really sure. I'm not excited. I'm not passionate about the things that I'm working on and what the future holds. So that's something to pay attention to. We have this 10 of Cups in reverse. The second spot was, what do you want most out of this? And so this is not necessarily about your creative aspirations. This is a family card. This is the 10 of Cups in reverse. This is about healthy, harmonious relationships. And since this is in reverse, this is telling me that you're coming from a place of dysfunctional relationships, toxic relationships. Maybe you're feeling very isolated and alone because of the pandemic, because of not being able to see family, or maybe you're single and you're not in a relationship. But there's just this sense that like you want a community. You want, whether it's a creative family or a biological family, or the family you make with your partner or your significant other, and children you have or adopt or raise. Like, you want that family and you want harmony and balance in those relationships. You may have a family and you just may be stressed out or tired, or you're like, I need to get out of my house. I need my own space back. I need to go to work in an office, and I need my kids to be in school, right? Like, there's this sense this year of like what you want most is harmony and balance, and a sort of a functional family that is not draining you. And that could be causing the burnout creatively, because you're just having to put so much energy and trying to maintain these relationships. I will say, if you have a toxic, unhealthy relationship with someone and it can't be saved, you need to learn how to say goodbye. I've talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to go into it. What do you need most? King of Wands. This, I love this card. King of Wands, this is sort of that Leo energy, that sun energy. But the King of Wands is a natural, charismatic person. They are a born leader. They are, in fact, a visionary. And so this tells me that you want to have these big, bold ideas. You want to be a leader. You want to be a household name in your industry, and you desire that. You may also be very afraid of what success means. You may be afraid to take that chance. You may be afraid to articulate that that's what you really want. It's okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to dream big. That's what I'm getting from this card here, is that you have big dreams, big goals. You want to be a leader. You want to be known. You want to be famous. And I use fame in sort of a cavalier way, because I don't think it's necessary that like everybody has to know you, right? You don't have to be Brad Pitt famous. But I get this sense that like you want to be a leader in your field. You want to have a business. You want to be able to provide for your family. And you want to be known and seen and recognized. And so I just encourage you to own that and reflect on that and think about that. What do I want to be famous for? What do I want to be successful in? How can I be a leader? And I think this is not just regular success. This is ultra successful, uber success, right? What do you want to be famous in? Identify that, and then look at the roadblocks that are keeping you from manifesting that in your life. Okay. Speaking of that, step out of your comfort zone. So for this lunar cycle, there's energy here reminding you to push out of your comfort zone. So dream bigger than maybe you would have dreamed. Think about the things, the limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and think about where you can go. Nothing will come of this situation, right? If you don't step outside of your comfort zone, nothing will change, right? You will still have that creative block. You will still have that tension with your family if you don't address it, if you don't think big, and if you don't step outside of your comfort zone. So that is the reading for our Pisces folks, sun, moon, and rising. Let's move on to Aries. All right, Aries, let's get into this first one. Where are you right now? Aries, sun, moon, rising. Where are you right now? We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So this tells me that you are maybe struggling a little bit financially, financially uncertain. Like maybe even if you have money in your account, you're feeling this burden of, do I have enough money? Maybe you lost a gig or lost a job. You're unemployed because of the pandemic. A contract ended. Some opportunity that you thought you had didn't come through. But I feel the financial constraints as something that's weighing on your mind quite heavily. Maybe it's not you, but it's a partner or a spouse that has lost a job and lost income. It could also be health related, right? We were seeing a lot of surges with the with COVID and the pandemic, And so this often comes up: poverty, hardship, illness. That's a lot of what this card represents. I do like to tell people all the time that that key is there, that you can potentially break through, like the answers are there, that this is temporary, that there's a light shining outside, but you can just feel lost and alone and very stuck right now. And so if you're feeling this, I am so sorry. Know that you are loved, know that you are not alone. And that people are here to see and support you. But like, I definitely feel that energy, that money and finances and health are just challenging right now. And you're coming to this place in the new year where you're carrying over, you feel like you're carrying the weight of 2020 still on you. And you're like, oh, this year does not feel any better because I'm still stuck in all the crap that 2020 had. And what do you want most because of that? Look at this, the Tower. And I know some of you who are really familiar with tarot are like, oh my God, I don't want the Tower. The Tower is sudden change. But what I see is like a true transformation. You just want something different. And it's not a small thing like changing the color of your hair, or moving apartments or rearranging furniture. This is a big thing. This could be the end of a relationship. It could be a total career change. It could be moving from to a new city. And it could be something that you wanted, but you're trying to put off because of 2020 and 2021 and because of the pandemic and because of the job market and because of all of these other things, right? Whether it's starting a family and you've been holding off on trying to get pregnant because you're just scared and afraid of all the complications and the challenges that that brings with it of being a parent in this time and this day and age. So I just want to say, like, there is a true innate desire for you, and I want you to acknowledge that and figure out what that is, for a change, for a big change, a drastic change. And just acknowledging that doesn't mean that you have to do it and you have to do it all in one day. So remember that. And look at this. Okay, you have the Hierophant card. It is in reverse, but the Hierophant card speaks to a sense of purpose, a sense of order, a sense of elevation is what I like to think about it. It's like you are climbing up, you're ascending to a greater place. I think of this as our religious structures, our spiritual connections, what we believe in, what our values are. I think what you need is some grounding in that. You're not feeling that connection. And so I would encourage you and push you to really explore that. It doesn't matter if it's a specific religion or not. You know, you could be an atheist, you could be a Wiccan or a pagan, you could be Christian or Jewish. Like, it does not matter what belief system you have. But what matters is that you're making sure you're giving yourself that space and time to connect with your spirituality and to understand your core values, understand who you are and who you want to be, and where there's any conflict between those. I think understanding and unlocking that sense of purpose, like that is going to help you move forward in a whole new way. It's going to open up a ton of potentials. And it's also going to allow you to let go of the things that are not serving you, right? Things about your belief systems that are not serving you, that are confining you, that are making you feel miserable and locked out on the outside. Like, it's time to say goodbye to those things. And the new moon is the perfect time to let go of those kinds of beliefs. So I want you to dig into that. And then our oracle advice here, show the world the real you, right? Show the world the real you, and your hard work is paying off. Right? So it's being seen, it's being heard. The things that you're doing, like, I know it may feel like a constant uphill battle, but people are seeing it, they're hearing it, it's paying off. You're doing the hard work, you're laying the foundation for the future life that you're going to live, and it's going to be beautiful. I promise you that. Okay, so that is your reading, Aries. We are going to move on to Gemini. Let's go. Okay, I lied. I skipped Taurus. So we're going to do Taurus and then we'll do Gemini. So, okay, Taurus readings. The first spot is, where are you right now? The first card represents, where are you right now? Where are you showing up? How are you centered right now? And you have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So Ace of Cups usually represents new relationships, connections, meeting people who you're just connected to soul-wise. You know, it doesn't have to be a love interest, but somebody who just gets you. When it's blocked, it can mean that you're resistant to this, but it can also mean that you're lacking self-love, self-confidence. You're feeling a little down on yourself. You're beating yourself up. This is totally normal for this time of year, because what do we do in the beginning of the year? We set New Year's resolutions and we go, oh my God, I can't believe I ate all that food on the holidays. I went out to all those parties, or I drank all those drinks, and you're just thinking I'm lazy and I need to lose 10 pounds and I need to do this and I need the more routine, and you're just beating yourself up. So right now, like, know that may be where you're at. You may be overly critical of yourself. You may not be appreciating the awesomeness that is you, and that is going to trickle into other aspects of your month if you don't identify that and then address it. Okay, what do you want most out of 2021? What do you want most out of the new year? You have the Queen of Swords. You have the Queen of Swords, and this is this confidence. This is like one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's that air energy. It's just this sense of intelligence and intellect and charm, but like in a way that is rooted on intuition. Like, she just has this amazing BS meter. And I think when I see this card and I see this energy, I think of somebody who wants to be a leader, but wants to do it in sort of her own way, right? And isn't afraid to lead in a way that is authentic to her. So think about your skills, think about your creativity and your passion. And just because you're an artist or a painter doesn't mean you can't be a CEO, right? Just because you're good with words doesn't mean you can't balance the books, right? Like, and that you can't trust your instincts. You can trust your instincts. You have instincts, follow them. And so I just see this sense of like wanting that strategy, wanting to step into that leadership role, wanting to feel really confident about the work that you're doing, the space that you're in. You're ready to level up. You don't want to just be a player. You want to be a leader. A lot of leadership cards coming up in these readings. And then what do you need? Hierophant card, again, in reverse. So this just came up in Aries. So if you have Aries and Taurus in your sun, moon, rising, this is definitely something to pay attention to. Both of these were in reverse. This is the year of the Hierophant, right? So last year, 2020, was card number 4, which was the Emperor. This is card number 5, and the Hierophant. And so this can speak to, like I said, rigidity, structure, traditional ways of thinking. Often when you think about religions, it's like, this is the belief system. And if you don't fit into this belief system and these rules, you're an outsider, you're a sinner, you're lost, or you're hopeless. But this can also be freeing, right? Because it can speak to, especially since it's in reverse, it can speak to questioning those belief systems and letting go of the things that no longer serve you. And so again, there's going to be this need, there's going to be this tension and this need. It can also speak to corruption and cleaning up corruption. I don't know why we would need to do that, right? But cleaning up corruption, getting rid of people who are manipulating the systems and structures that no longer serve us. So there may be some whole collective energy coming in with this card, since it's come up a couple of times and it is the card of the year. But that is what you need. And that is also going to help bring you balance and comfort this year. So think about that as you think about what to let go of. Okay. From the oracles, we have balance, spirituality, and practicality, which goes right along with the Hierophant card, right? It's not a bad thing to believe in things, to believe in a higher power, to be religious. It's not a bad thing to be a Christian. It's not a bad thing to be a Muslim. But you want to make sure that you're balancing those needs and you're not allowing it to completely dictate your thinking when it comes to how you show up and how you engage with other people. And then you have, don't let your pride get in the way. So advice here, sometimes you're wrong, right? Sometimes you can be wrong, and that's okay. Don't let pride get in the way of you doing this deep work and thinking about what's serving you and what's no longer serving you and what's no longer serving the larger universe. So that is your message, Taurus, sun, moon, rising. I encourage you to listen to the other ones. We're now going to go on into Gemini. Okay, so reading for the Gemini. So a reminder, this first card is going to be where you're starting from for our Gemini folks, where are you starting from? Where are you showing up at today? What are you bringing into the new moon? The Chariot, right? This is a wonderful card. Chariot speaks to victory and success and confidence. So you are riding a high of the holidays. You are excited. You're ready to go for the new year. Take charge, take action. This is a card that is all about action and movement, moving forward. And you're not stagnant. You're just going. You're doing all the things. You're planning all the plans. You have a lot of energy. You're celebrating some victories and some successes, and you're excited about that. And so that's fantastic. That's where you're coming into the reading today and into the new moon. Interesting enough, though, like I want to make sure that that's not bravado, or that's not you avoiding the real work and the deep work, or thinking I don't need to let anything go this new moon because I'm confident and I'm disciplined and I'm creating stuff and I'm moving forward. Because the card that came up about what you want most was the Five of Cups. And this Five of Cups usually speaks to grief, loss, like an unhealthy focus on the things that you had to let go of. And so what I get from this is there's a need for forgiveness for something, a need to grieve for something, a need to heal from something. And I think it's something that you may have been running away from, right? You may have been using work or creativity or art as an escape, and that is okay. That is okay. But know that even doing those things is not necessarily going to help you do the hard work of grieving. It's not going to help you do the hard work of, forgiving yourself for things that maybe you were at fault for, maybe you weren't, right? Sometimes we blame ourselves for stuff even if we weren't at fault for it. And managing that guilt is really difficult, so we just avoid it. And that's what I get a sense that is happening right now. So this year in 2021, I think this is going to become a theme for you. It's going to be something that is always there until you deal with it and address it. So start thinking about, like, how can I let go of guilt? How can I start to acknowledge what those things are? Write it down and explore that. I think that's true because this card came up as what you need. And this is the moon, right? And the moon speaks to hidden truths, things that we don't see, things that we're illusions, and the sort of unconscious mind, right? And so I do get the sense that there's things buried, things that you didn't want to look at, things that you're trying to ignore while you move forward and you race forward, that are calling out to you and that are going to need your attention. So you're going to have to deal with that this year. It doesn't just go away. You have to do the hard work at some point. And I get the sense that you want to, not only do you need to, but you want to, and some element of you, some piece of you wants to be free of this, right? You don't want to carry it around. You want to be free to enjoy all of this energy and all of this success. So there's definitely a sense there of things that you can use to sort of let go and transition into your new life more fully. Advice from the Oracle cards here. Work through your fears. I love it when the universe is very direct, right? Work through your fears. So for you guys, I want you to list down what are those fears, right? What are you afraid of? What are you grieving for? What loss have you been avoiding? What reality have you been holding back on? Work through your fears, and the end of a tough cycle approaches, right? So you can find peace. You can find happiness. You don't have to be a workaholic to get that peace. You can find it and be at rest because the end of that cycle is coming. So there is reward there. I just want you to use the new moon. This new moon, beginning of the year, is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to be honest and transparent about what you're carrying. And you don't have to get rid of that whole load, but you've got to acknowledge it, right? And so use this time to acknowledge it, to write it down, and to let that new moon energy help you start to heal from that and start to forgive yourself for those things. All right, we're moving on to the next group. All right, Cancer babies, let's get into your reading. Cancer, so where are you at right now? Where are you showing up at right now? Cancer babies, you've got the Chariot again. So if you had Cancer and Gemini in your chart, this is doubly true for you. This is the same exact position that this was in for the Gemini reading. You're coming in with victory, with excitement, with some achievements under your belt. You are riding the wave of the new year. You're excited about new, fresh possibilities. You've got your planners out and your goals set, and you've got things like you are ready to take charge and move forward and create and hit deadlines. All of that is very, very present for you, very palpable for you. And that's sort of the mindset that you're coming into this new moon with. What do you desire most? All right, let's slow down and look at this, right? What do you desire most? The Three of Swords. And this is one of those cards that people are always like, oh no, the Three of Swords, because they think of heartache, they think of breakups, they think of just like sadness and tragedy and grief and pain. And I don't think that you're like some kind of masochist and you really want that. But I do wonder if there's a relationship that's no longer serving you that you want to be free of, that you're looking for. I just feel like that you're looking to let go of something. You're looking for freedom of something. You're looking to forgive yourself for your part in a breakup. But I feel like it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but I feel like there is a partnership or relationship that is no longer serving you. And there's a part of you that is like, I want to be free of this. I want to like move forward. That message may not be for everyone, but I feel like for some of you, like, you know it. And you're like, yeah, like it's time for me to move on from this organization, from this creative partner, from this producer, agent, manager, from my boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever. This may also mean that it's time for you to let go of a particular project, right? I do think this is really more about relationships, but it could be some project that you've been holding on to that isn't moving forward, that is just breaking your heart over and over again. And it may be not that you have to let go of it forever, but that you want a break. Like you're like, I just need room to breathe and do something else. So pay attention to that. And then what do you need most that you may not be aware of? Three of Cups, which is all about community, right? So the Three of Cups, building your sisterhood. Who's in your squad? Like, who has your back? Who are the people that are going to support you? Who are the people that are carrying you when you stumble and you fall? I'm like, to me, this is like, who are the people who check in on you when you're sick, right? Who, bring you baked goods and who send you Christmas cards and who call to chat just to tell you a funny joke, right? Like, who are those people who commiserate with you when you don't have a great day, when you get a rejection letter or email or note, or when somebody ghosts you, right? And who's the first person that you want to call and tell when you have a great meeting? You need those people in your life. And you may have been deprioritizing that, or you may have not been able to spend as much time as you'd like with these folks because of the pandemic and because maybe you live in different places or you're not in their bubble. But I just think like it's going to be important for you to think about building that community, expanding that community in a safe way, and allowing yourself to lean on other people. That can be really hard for some of us to do. So allow yourself to build those intimate connections and relationships and to trust in folks. Okay, and then advice from the Oracle cards here. Yeah, we have balanced spirituality and practicality, which came up in one of the other reads as well. And then we have believe in the impossible, right? So believe in the impossible. And I think this is just going to remind you to think bigger, dream bigger, have faith, even if you don't understand how it will happen, have faith in that. Okay, so that's this reading for our Cancer group, and we're going to move on to Leo. All right. Let's get into Leo. Okay, so this first card is where are you at? Where are you showing up right now? What energy do you have? What are you carrying as we go into this new moon season? Okay, you've got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Five of Pentacles in reverse. So what I'm seeing here and sensing here, so you're coming into this with financial hardship, with some loss financially, physical illness, maybe bothering you right now. Health is sort of on the fritz, right? I get this sense that you're carrying over a lot of baggage from 2020. And that is really top of mind, right? You just can't feel like you can't escape that baggage from 2020, and that's okay, right? That's okay. Know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Know that you are seen, that you are heard. There are people who love and care about you, even though you may feel isolated, even though you may feel really afraid of what the future holds. And what do you want most? This does not surprise me with a Leo. Leo energy. You had 3 cards come out. I only wanted 1 card. All 3 of these came out stuck together at the same time. So we're going to walk through them very quickly. You've got the wheel, which is like the sort of wheel of fortune, sort of destiny card. It's in reverse, but this tells me that you want luck. You feel like you just haven't had a break and you're like, I just need one thing to go my way. I need some luck. And you have the world, which tells me completion. You're ready to end the cycle. You want a finish, you want an end, you want to move from this stage in your life. And you're feeling stuck and you're feeling like luck is not going your way. And you have this 5 of Cups, which came up in another reading. 5 of Cups, this is about forgiveness. This is about grieving. This is about letting go of the grief and forgiving yourself for your part in something, right? Don't blame yourself. And I think for this group in particular, I also think this card is about you feel like you've been stuck in this place where you're just focused on everything that you've lost and all of the hardships. And maybe you've even lost people. And if so, I am so sorry. Maybe you've lost a job or a career that you really, really loved and you no longer get to do that. And I am so sorry. And know that you're ready to get past this grieving period, or you want to be past this grieving period. And you want that luck on your side. I just get that sense. What do you need though? What do you need? Queen of Pentacles. Now this Queen of Pentacles is in reverse, which tells me something as well. But the Queen of Pentacles is grounded, and they're about sort of, what's the right word? They are folks who are really confident in their success. They're abundant and they are nurturing, and they are able to nurture and develop and cultivate richness in the earth and gardens and luxury and material possessions, right? And so I get this idea that what you need is not lavish material possessions, because this is in reverse, but the sense of a belief that you are worthy, right? This sense of belief that you are worthy, that you are capable of living an abundant life, that you are capable of being nurtured and developing, and nurturing and developing others, mothering others. I always feel a mothering energy with the Queen of Pentacles. She has so much grace and so much compassion and so much sophistication. If I had to pick somebody to personify this, I would say this is my Oprah card right here. This is my Michelle Obama card. It's just this class and this presence. And I think you're longing for that, that kind of mentor, that kind of mothering figure in your life. You need that. And there are people around who can play that role for you, that are going to help you explore and open up and heal and move through this really tough time in your life. And then, okay, advice from the Oracle cards. Conclusions are within reach, right? And the fiery climax approaches. So look at this. You have so many cards here that speak to an end. You have the World card, conclusions are at reach, fiery climax, right? And then you have luck, and you have grief and forgiveness, right? So with this new moon and a fresh start, I want you to write down all of the things that you're upset about, all of the burdens that you're carrying, all of the guilt that you feel for experiencing these, or for longing and wanting something else. Write it all down, get it all out there, and then do some kind of ritual to release that energy, whether it's sage, whether it's burning the paper, whether it's taking a bath, and do something to release those beliefs and that energy from your space and from your life, because the new moon is so powerful, and it's the perfect time to heal and to cleanse. And with it being in Capricorn, with it being at the start of a new calendar year, like you can just really tap into the power of this new moon in a really helpful way. All right, so that is our reading for Leo. We're going to move into Virgo. Okay, let's get into the Virgo reading. So Virgo, this first card that we have is where you're coming into the new year and this new moon at. And this is the Hanged Man in reverse. So this is what it looks like normally. Hanged Man, I always think about this as the martyr, as the sacrifice card. And so like, make sure you're not coming into this year playing the martyr, right? And expecting everybody to feel sympathetic because you're like, oh, but I fell on that sword and it was so much, right? Like, don't stop playing the martyr. Also stagnation. You're feeling a little stuck. You're feeling like you can't move. And because this is in reverse, you're not at peace with it. What I love about this card is that like, they're at peace. Like she's hanging, but she's at peace with where she is and acknowledging that and being present in the moment. And right now I feel like you're feeling stuck and you're not enjoying it. So it's awkward and you're like, this hurts. I don't want to be here. And look at all of these sacrifices I'm making for other people or for my job or for whatever it is, right? So this is the energy that you're carrying. It's not a particularly healthy energy. So I want to encourage you to reflect on that, reflect on why you may be playing that role or feeling those feelings so that you can let them go. What do you want most out of the new year? You've got the King of Swords in reverse. So it lets me know that you want this, but maybe you're resisting it or you're not acknowledging it. King of Swords is all about logic and structure and strategy, like just really strong intellect, a really strong sense of how things fit together and work together, the ability to see many steps ahead, the ability to play the game and play it well. Like you want that sense of strategy with your creative life, with your business life, maybe even with your family life, like organization and structure and purpose and intentionality. That's what you really want. And it can manifest in a variety of ways, but I think that's the energy that you want to carry. And it's a skill that you want to master this year. And then what do you really need? This is interesting. This is the Eight of Wands. It is in reverse, it was in reverse. But the Eight of Wands speaks to fast decisions, urgency, power, moving forward. It is not a stagnant card. It is the exact opposite of this card. And again, I think there's something that's holding you back. And this does make me wonder that, is that stagnation that you're feeling right now something that you're causing? Or is it something that the environment around you is causing? Or is it a mixture of both? So like do some work, some spirit work, some soul work, some reflecting work to figure out what's causing you to feel stuck and stagnant. Maybe it's analysis. Like, hello, Virgo. I'm a Virgo, so I can say this. We like logic. We like spreadsheets. We like planning. You get into that analysis paralysis stage and you're like, if I can just get the perfect plan, then we can launch, right? And this is telling me like, no, like what you really need is just do the work. What you really need is just write the story. What you really need is just to cut the demo and put it out there and build as you go. That is okay to do. And Virgos, I know you don't want to do it. It makes you scared. It makes you panic to not have a structured approach and a backup plan and all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted. But this is telling me this is what you need is momentum. You need to take action. You need to move forward. You really, really need to think about how do I get out of this planning stage and this dreaming and scheming stage and put things into action. Okay, advice from the oracles. We have the end of a tough cycle approaches, right? So an ending is coming for a tough cycle and expect a powerful change as a result. Expect a powerful change. So that's really exciting actually, because that means that change is on the horizon. And I think it's going to have to do with these things that you want and the need. And like if you step outside of your comfort zone, you're going to get that powerful change. So I hope that was helpful. But we're going to move on here to our Libra reading. So let's go Libra. Okay, Libra, let's go. Let's get into this reading. Libras, let me just tell you, you need to go find your Virgo friends because you are where they need to be, right? This card came up the same exact way for them in terms of what do they most need in 2021. And this is where you're coming into 21 right now. I think it's so interesting to me. So yeah, you are carrying this energy. You are all about action and moving forward and channeling that power. And you're doing, which is great unless you're not stepping back to realize like, are you doing the right things, right? So just know that you may have this frantic energy. You may have even been like, I don't have time to watch this video, right? I don't have time to do these rituals. I don't have time to list out my goals because I got stuff to do. But there is power in taking that time to do that work. So you're coming in with a lot of energy, a lot of intention, a lot of action towards your goals. What do you want most out of the year? 9 of Cups, which is all about wish fulfillment, dreams manifested. So you are ready. Like you're like, I know what I want and I want it to happen. Maybe you're already doing manifesting journals and scripting. You've been at this game for a while. You have a list of your goals all set up and you're like, this is what I'm going to achieve and this is when I'm going to achieve it. Maybe you're being a little too prescriptive. Or you've written them down, but you don't have a plan at all. You're just like, yeah, whatever. They'll show up. It'll happen. Just make sure you don't have any limiting beliefs. This is in reverse, which makes me think like you've acknowledged some dreams, but maybe you haven't dreamed big enough. The other thing I would say is like, if you are dreaming big, maybe there's something that's like, oh, I wrote it down, but I don't actually believe that's happening. And if you don't deal with that limiting belief, you cannot manifest what you want in your life. You have to be fully ready to receive that. You have to be open to receiving that. You've got to be prepared to receive it. You've got to make space in your life to receive it. So I just want you to know that like, just because you wrote it down on a piece of paper does not mean that it will come true unless you believe, unless you have faith, unless you are really living that life and making space for those dreams to manifest. And then what do you need? You need the Queen of Wands, baby. This is like, you need to boss up. You need to be a boss in your own way, in your own right. Own your individuality. Own your unique creativity and your passion and your purpose. You can be a boss any way you choose to be. I love this card because this is CEO energy, right? Like, I mean, she doesn't care. Like, she's running her business. She's just as competent as the King of Wands. She's just as passionate, just as successful, just as wealthy. But she's not wearing a business suit, right? She's not being that sort of typical charismatic CEO persona. This is somebody who's like earning the living of their dreams the way they want to do it. And you have that energy. And I think what you need to do is own your authenticity, your uniqueness, be bold, don't hide, be unapologetic in who you are and the stories you want to tell, the music you want to create, the songs you want to sing, right? Like, be you and do not apologize for it. That is what you need, is to feel confident enough to be you and to show up and be you, and people are going to fall in love with you, right? And the haters, they're always going to hate, so it doesn't matter. Stop trying to impress them. They're always going to hate. Let them go, do their own thing. Focus on all the people you can inspire by being your true, authentic self. All right, let's see what the Oracle cards have for you. Be bold and make the first move, right? That's what I'm telling you. Be bold. Be bold. Make those moves. And then hold true to your vision, right? Know what that vision is. I know you know it. I know you know it. Know what your vision is and hold true to it. Don't let go of it. Okay, so that is your reading. We're going to move on to Scorpio now. So let's do Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I shuffle between each one of these takes and the same cards keep coming up. So Scorpio, where are you at? Where are you coming in to this reading, into the new moon, into the new year? Just trying to ground us in, what's grounding you right now. And that is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands. This came up for the Libras. as well as where they're at. You're coming in with just so much energy, so much action and movement, lots of news, lots of changing information coming, lots of decisions being made, and it's just go, 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 go. You are hitting the ground running and you're already moving, and it's, you know, the start of the new year, and you are like taking action on the plan. You're not even just planning. The planning is done. You did that before. You are on the move. I said if you have Virgo in your chart or Libra in your chart as well, this is a really big thing. Virgos were really stuck with this. This is something they needed that they weren't doing. So if you can influence your Virgo friends, that would be good. If you have Libra in your chart, this is doubling down, right? You have a lot of energy, a lot of action. You may be moving a little too fast, right? You may need to think about self-care and how do you rest and how do you recover. Okay, so that's where you're at. What do you want? What do you desire most out of the year? You had 2 cards come up because of course you did. And you had the wheel. So like wanting luck, like maybe a little hesitant in luck or feeling a little unlucky lately. And so you want that luck to turn, is what I'm sensing. And that came with the 9 of Pentacles, which, you know, speaks to wealth, abundance, harvest. Like you want all of these seeds that you've been planting for a year, 2 years. You want them to manifest. You want them to grow. You want to be able to harvest all of these riches that you've been working on for so long. So that could be a book release. It could be an album release. It could be selling a script or a project. It could be something airing on TV, but like you're ready to see the fruits of your labor and you're ready to indulge, and you want to be able to buy some new things, take a vacation, splurge, live a little luxuriously, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. You want to buy that bag, that is fine. Buy that bag, spend that money, right? It is okay for you to do that. And that's what you really long to do. You want that luck so that you can get that big break, so that you can make that sale, buy that house, whatever it is that you're looking to purchase and indulge in. And then what do you need? You've got the 8 of Pentacles. What do you need? 8 of Pentacles. Now this is interesting because 8 of Pentacles speaks to discipline, consistency, work with attention to detail, like going back in and not, like this persistence and paying attention to what you're doing, but like with discipline, with intention, perfecting your craft, showing up daily. Like all of that is really important. And I get this sense that maybe you're not consistent in the work that you're doing. You're doing a lot of work, but you're not doing it consistently because you're doing too many different types of things. So that might be a theme for you. Also, like really looking at your craft and perfecting that craft and making sure that you're elevating the quality of your work. That's a big thing as well. So that could be something that you need to focus on this year. And then advice from our oracle cards, we have the energy is gaining momentum, right? So energy is gaining momentum, which is, I think, a good thing for you. I don't know, you have a lot of energy. So I'm not quite sure if that's going to help you or that's a warning, like it's going to be unbearable. Like it's going to keep picking up speed. And if you don't figure out how to care for yourselves and how to find balance, you're going to hit burnout. And don't let your past hold you back, right? So there's a message for someone somewhere there is like, are you trying to overachieve because you're trying to run from your past? Are you trying to make up for past mistakes? Are you trying to win somebody's approval from your past? Or say like, you didn't want me, you broke up with me, you weren't the best parent. And so like, I'm trying to be successful to prove to you that I'm worthy of your love and attention and you made a mistake. Like, think about all of that. Just saying, don't let that hold you back, but don't let it like force you into some crazy loop of being a workaholic because you're trying to earn back somebody's attention or affection or love, because you are worthy of love just as you are. And it doesn't matter what you do, what your work is, how much money you make, you are worthy of love regardless of those things. That is your reading. We're going to move on to the next group. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius folks, here is your reading. Remember to look at your sun, moon, and rising signs so that you get a comprehensive picture of what energies are surrounding you. So if you have this in your sun, moon, or rising, this reading is for you. So where are you at? Where are you coming to the space at? We've got the Six of Wands in reverse. So Six of Wands speaks to limelight, speaks to attention and recognition and success and praise. It's in reverse, which makes me think that you are longing for this and you're not getting it, right? You're like, why aren't people recognizing me? You're comparing yourself to others and feeling bummed out. You're fear of failure and rejection. You're facing that. You're feeling that failure because people aren't excited about your work, or they're not responding the way that you like. They're not connecting to it. Maybe they're giving you some harsh criticism. So you're coming feeling a little beaten, just experiencing that rejection, comparing yourselves to others, asking why other people are successful in this creative space and you're not. And that can be a really rough place to be in, let's be honest. So that's what you're carrying into the new year and the new moon cycle. What do you want most? So we have this Temperance card, which to me speaks to balance and moderation, right? And I think what you want most of all is a sense that everything is flowing harmoniously together, that your work and your life, your work life, your home life, your creative passions, they're all working together. You're not being pulled into 20 different directions. I think this is particularly important for folks who are creating, but they're not yet a full-time creator, right? You're managing a full-time career or job. You're managing a family, maybe you're parenting full-time, and you're trying to write, trying to create, trying to sing, whatever you're trying to do, dance, create films. And you just feel like I don't have a space and I'm either doing all of one or all of the other. And it's just feeling very disconnected and disjointed. And I want them all to be able to work together, or I want to get rid of something so that I can find that balance. That is what you want most out of the year. And so you want to look for activities and opportunities that allow you to find that balance. And then what do you need, right? So these are the blind spots, the things that you might be overlooking, the things that the universe is like, hey, actually, if you have this too, it's going to help you. And you need the Tower, which tells me you need a total transformation. And I think you want it. I think you're looking at this and you're saying if I just change this one thing, then I'll find balance. And this is telling me, no, you need to rethink the whole thing. You need a major transformation. It's time to reshift all of the ways that you're looking at life, the way that you're managing life. This is like career change energy. This is marriage energy. This is moving to a new state or city energy. This is investing, starting your own business energy, right? So there's this sense of you need to go through this change, this transformation. Maybe it's a personal thing. I don't know, but there's something that you've been wanting to do and something that's holding you back. If you don't tackle this thing, you're always going to be feeling disconnected, and the creativity and the blessings that could come from your creative projects are going to be less than they could, because you're not being your full authentic self. You haven't found your full authentic self, or you haven't given yourself permission to be this full authentic self. So think about those life changes. It could be your personal life. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be doubling down and really putting your money where your mouth is. But there's definitely this sense here that change needs to happen. And let's look here at the messages from the oracles. Yeah. So work through your fears. That's the first message here. Work through your fears. And the second part of that is prosperity lies ahead, right? So if you face that fear of whatever that change is in the Tower card, and if you own that you need to make that change, prosperity lies ahead, right? You'll be successful. You can survive it. You can survive tough things. You'll get through it. You'll be successful. You'll have more success on the other side of that than you would if you stayed in your comfort zone. So pay attention to that. All right, we're going to the last group, which I believe is Capricorn. So let's go. Okay, last but not least, we're going into our Capricorn reading. So let's go. First card here is our Queen of Cups. She's in reverse. Let me show you her and all her beauty and glory. She's in reverse. So Queen of Cups energy here. This is really letting me know that you are coming in full on empath mode, right? Like, where are you sitting right now? This energy is like, I am all up in my emotions, all up in my feels. And sometimes this can be good. Sometimes it can be really overwhelming. It's in reverse. So it just warns me that, like, make sure you're not being overly emotional to something, over dramatic. Make sure you're not using your emotions to manipulate or blackmail others. Make sure that you're not, allowing other people to emotionally blackmail you. Guilt tripping, that's a really popular thing with some people. So, just acknowledge, like, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to acknowledge them, but just know that, like, you may be over emotional. All my ladies out there, like, hormones are real, okay? And it is okay to experience them. And I just want to say, like, hey, like, sometimes when we know, we're like, okay, this is why I'm crying. Like, and that's okay. So yeah, you're coming into this space a little bit emotional, and sometimes, and all of the times those emotions are justified. Just make sure you're not manipulating others or using that to control others in your life. What do you want most? What do you want most out of this year? What do you desire most? King of Pentacles. So this tells me you want success. You want success, you want financial success, you want success for your business and your creative projects. There is some leadership energy here, but what I see most with the King of Pentacles is always like the Midas touch. Like, you desire just, like, every idea that you have to be able to harness it, to be able to manifest it, to be able to build it and grow it so that it is successful. And whether it stays with you or it gets released out into the world or it becomes this thing of its own, like, you want to build these lasting legacy type projects. And that's fantastic. That's wonderful. This is such a beautiful card. And I love this card in particular because he's just so relaxed. It's effortless. And I think that's something that you want. It's like, you want the success, you want the leadership role, but you don't want to pretend to be something that you're not. And you don't want to have to work so hard for it. Like, you feel like it should be effortless. So yeah, I love that here with this card. And then what do you need? This is interesting. What do you need is Temperance, right? And this Temperance card is in reverse. So that's interesting to me too. But, like, it speaks that when these cards are in reverse, what I've been interpreting them to mean is that this is something that we want that we haven't acknowledged yet, or we haven't been aware of, or we're resisting it. And so this idea that you can have peace, that you can have balance between the different aspects of your life and between, I always think of work and life, like career and home life, but there's other things too. Health, our physical health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, our financial health, our social health, right? Like, all of those things play a part, and it can be really hard to juggle and balance those. It can be hard to balance different creative projects and avenues. And so what I think that you need is to find a way to do that, to be really deliberate about giving yourself space to devote to those different dimensions of your life, those different aspects of your life, that you can balance the light and the darkness, right? That you can have fun, but that, like, you can get a little naughty, right? And then you can be a little nice, right? And it's okay to have those dark thoughts sometimes, and it's okay to be happy sometimes and to have laughter. Like, we need all of those things. The whole range of emotions are important. So acknowledging that, embracing that, giving yourself space to do that, setting systems up that allow you to live this life, that is going to help you advance your goals this year. So that is the reading for all of the zodiac signs. Again, I encourage you to go through and listen to each of the three, your sun, moon, and rising signs. Make sure you watch all of those and take notes. And then if you click the link below and join my newsletter, you will also get the new moon in Capricorn moon guide, and it's sort of, it shows the spread that I walked through and used for this reading, but it also has a handful of reflection questions to take you deeper into this explorative work. So it's going to help you identify those fears, identify those challenges, and think about like, what is it that I really need to let go of, cleanse, release during this new moon. So I hope that was helpful. If you enjoy it, click the like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content, and I will see you soon.